The clock struck midnight, and the house settled into an eerie silence. My parents had gone out for a late dinner, leaving me alone for the night. I was used to being home alone, but tonight felt different. The wind howled outside, rattling the windows, and shadows danced across the walls. I decided to make some tea to calm my nerves. As I stood in the dimly lit kitchen, I heard a faint scratching sound coming from the basement. I froze, my heart pounding. It was probably just a rat or a loose floorboard, I told myself. But the sound persisted, growing louder with each passing second. I tiptoed toward the basement door, my hand trembling as I reached for the knob. The stairs creaked under my weight as I descended into the darkness. The air grew colder, and the scratching sound intensified. I flicked on the light switch, revealing a narrow, dimly lit room filled with old furniture and dusty boxes. And there, in the corner, was a mirror. But it wasn't an ordinary mirror. Its surface was warped, like a funhouse mirror, distorting my reflection. I stared at it, my breath catching in my throat. The scratching seemed to come from the mirror itself. I stepped closer, my reflection shifting and contorting. The scratching grew louder, more urgent. I reached out to touch the glass, and my fingers met icy coldness. The mirror trembled, and suddenly, I was no longer alone. My reflection moved independently, its eyes wide with terror. It pointed toward the basement window, where a figure stood outside, a figure that looked exactly like me. Its eyes were hollow, its skin pale, and its lips twisted into a sinister grin. I stumbled backward, my heart racing. The mirror was a portal, a gateway to another dimension. The scratching sound was the desperate plea of my doppelganger, trapped on the other side. And now, it wanted to switch places with me. I had only 10 minutes, the time it took for my parents to return. I had to break the connection before it was too late. But how? I glanced around the basement, my mind racing. The mirror was the key, but what could sever the link? I remembered the old family photo album, the one my parents kept hidden away. It contained pictures of generations past, faces long forgotten. Maybe, just maybe, if I destroyed the mirror while holding a photo, the connection would break. I grabbed the album and flipped through its yellowed pages. There, a faded photograph caught my eye. A woman who looked eerily like me, her eyes filled with sorrow. I tore the page out and rushed back to the mirror. With trembling hands, I pressed the photo against the glass. The scratching intensified, and my doppelganger lunged forward, its fingers grazing mine. I closed my eyes and whispered a desperate plea. Take her, not me. The mirror shattered, shards flying in all directions. The scratching ceased, and when I opened my eyes, the basement was empty. The wind outside had died down, and the house was once again silent. My parents returned, oblivious to the otherworldly events that had transpired. But I knew. I had glimpsed a parallel reality, a place where my doppelganger now roamed. And every time I looked in the mirror, I wondered if she was staring back, waiting for her chance to escape.